It's Ask Tina Day, drum roll, Morgan, and the news stresses me out. I want to stay informed, but every time I watch, I feel completely overwhelmed and helpless. Help. I don't think you're alone in this. So of course we must consume the news. It is our civil responsibility, but how we consume it is our choice. So you can play around with where you get your news from. Is it less stressful for you to watch TV or to read your news? You make that decision and then stick with that choice just to manage your level of stress. But a couple of things that you can consider as well. We have a range of self inside of ourselves. Let's call it the part of us that is the surviving self and the part that is the thriving self. And the surviving self, you can think of it, it has characteristics like it's always ready for a fight, or thinking in terms of war or doubt or not being good enough. And the thriving self tends to think in terms of what's possible. It's inclusive and loves community and is always in this spirit of hope and excitement. The thriving self is a way in which you can manage your surviving self. So what that might look like is, if you consume the news and it stresses you out, have at the ready a book that allows you to read and feel more empowered after you've watched the news. Or you could even have a news buddy, someone who also is wanting to stay in that thriving self energy and build and strengthen their thriving self, so the two of you can agree to process the news, to discuss the news from the thriving self mindset. Just know that the surviving self doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means that our nervous system has had a tendency to work in terms of survival for a lot longer than we have been dealing with the idea of us being able to indeed build community and move forward in a hopeful sense of possibility way. You choose to manage your surviving self by making sure you give equal or more time to your thriving self.